Hello and welcome back to another episode of Leveling Live. I, of course, as always, am your host, Stanier. And as you can tell, this was the file that we left with, and this is the file that I'm currently on. I did about 4 hours worth of grinding, and a lot of things happened. I picked up another gun, which I started to work on, but then I realized there's a faster way to do this. So what's going to end up happening so you don't have 30-40 hours waiting on me is I'm basically going to use one gun and one hammer and one magic bracelet or brassard and one sword up until chapter 6. Because in chapter 6 we gain access to very high levels of ABS. And we're going to use that to level up weapons. What I want to do today, however, is go over some of these things and then work on the ultimate thing that everybody loves about this game, and that is the photo ideas. So let's go ahead and take a look at what these look like.
You're about to embark on a wonderful adventure. Let me give you a few tips before you start. First off, let's talk about moving around. To walk, push the left analog stick a little. Push it all the way to run. The right analog stick controls the camera. You can turn the camera with the L1 and R1 buttons too, except in dungeons. When you're on the move, pressing the circle button or the L2 button brings the camera around behind your character. This is handy when you want to look in the direction your character is facing.
So that's simple enough, you know. If you've ever played pretty much any game before, you know there's usually the movement and the camera control. If you're lucky, you'll have camera control, that is. Thankfully, this game allows you to have free roaming camera control. It's a little tricky to get used to, which is why the standard thing is when you press up, the camera pans up, sort of. For me, it makes a little bit more sense to be able to control the camera itself. So when I press up, the camera should be panning, you know, up with it, so that I know which way I'm turning, basically. The movement's very simple. L2 and circle are your best friends. If you start spinning the camera too much and you can't figure out which way Max is actually facing, the easiest thing to do is just press circle or press the L2 button and they'll reset the camera back behind them. Alright, with that done, search in the menu. I don't know why they call it search.
When you approach an object and press the X button, the character takes a particular action according to the situation. For example, if the object is a door, it will open. If it's a person, you can chat. If you press the triangle button while operating your character, a screen of commands will appear. This screen is called the main menu.
Imagine
on the
that.
main menu, you can use all kinds of commands to help you along in the game. For example, you can use items or equip weapons. Remember, on the main menu, you normally use the X button to enter and the circle button to cancel.
Simple enough. Your triangle is your menu button. X to talk or interact. It really should be more of an interact/menu as opposed to search, because you're really interacting with people, objects, doors, anything like that.
In some situations, you must press the square button to bring up an item selection window. Choose the item that fits your needs in that particular situation. If you pick the right item, you get to continue with your adventure.
If you don't, you die a horrible death.
If you don't have the item you need in inventory, press the circle button to cancel. Then you've got to go out and look for that item you need.
Poor Max. You've seen me do it in levels. In a lot of situations, you'll have to do this when talking to people. Usually when you talk to people, if I remember correctly, it'll pop up the not dialogue box, the item select screen for you, and then you just pick it. But this is how you do anything with keys in a dungeon, whether it be getting to the a locked area like the channel key, or getting out of a floor like the gate key. Alright, so now on to using items.
Now I'm going to explain about using normal items. On the main menu, select Items. This brings you to the item window. Move the cursor to the item you want to use with the directional buttons or with the left analog stick. Then press the X button.
Really? Is that a stamina drink?
That item will appear. Just pick
Really?
the command you want to perform, and that's how you use items.
Very simple. You've seen me kind of blow through it as I'm doing it, but you're not actually seeing my controller. It's very simple. You bring up the menu, you can go to it, and you use the item. Let's see what this one is. If they don't tell you something that I'm thinking of about how to use them normally, like when you're rolling around after equipping them, I'm pretty certain they will, but otherwise I can let you know in a minute.
In the item window,
Another
using
stamina
the square
drink.
button to select an item
I
lets
want
you
those
pick up that
stupid
item.
chill
Once you've got a
crystals.
hold of it, you can move it somewhere else. Pressing the square button again drops the item into the place the cursor is pointing. Move things around any way you want to make them easier to use. You can move items with the triangle button too, but with the triangle button, you can control the amount of that item that you move. Finally, pressing the select button automatically organizes your items. Pressing the select button again sorts your items into different orders.
Let's see if it's... Yep, we'll get to that. Alright, now for some battle stuff.
Hey, I'm Donnie, and I'm gonna explain the basic controls in the dungeons. The X button is for using the weapon in your right hand. If you press the X button while holding down the L1 button, you'll attack with the projectile weapon in your left hand. If you hold down the X button for a long time, when you release it, you'll do a charge attack. Use it at critical moments.
Those are really hard to do. Alright, moving on.
Pressing the R1 button will defend you against the enemy's attack. And if you press the X button while holding down the R1 button, you can pick up a monster close to you and then throw him by pressing the X button again. Cool! In the same way, you can pick up and throw things like the big rocks that are in the dungeons. Try chucking them at the monsters. To advance to the next floor in the dungeons, you need the gate key item. one of the monsters will have the gate key hidden on him. So if you defeat him, you'll get the key. But, of course, you won't know if he has the key or not till you defeat him. And the gate key for each dungeon is a different item. Try not to get them mixed up. When exploring the dungeons, you can switch to the map view by pressing the select button. Pressing the button will switch between off, small display, and large display, so pick which one you want. You can also find floor maps and magic crystals down in the dungeons. With a floor map, you can see the whole layout of the floor you're on. A magic crystal will show you the positions of the monsters and treasure. The map view will be useful for finding both of them. The floor map and the magic crystal won't work anymore when you go to another floor, so you'll have to look for new ones.
And you just throw the rest away. Always good to do this one.
If you get near a monster and press the circle button when the marker is displayed, you'll go into lock-on mode, which means that wherever you move, you'll always turn to be facing your enemy head on. Remember this, it'll make it a lot easier to fight. If you want to change the target you've locked on, tap the circle button. Each time you tap it, you'll lock on to a different monster nearby. When you're locked on, moving the left analog stick away from your target and pressing the X button will make you evade to avoid the monster's attack. This is another cool move, so don't forget it. And finally, here's how to get out of the lock-on mode. Move the left analog stick away from your target and press the circle button. That'll do it. When the fight's looking bad, all you can do is run. But when the enemy's too close, you can't run very fast, so you should try to get away as soon as you can. And when the enemy's nearby, you can't open treasure chests. So either drag the chest away from your enemy, or defeat your enemy first and then open it.
Alright, here's the best thing to worry about, or think about.
In the dungeons, you can use items, even during a battle. But to do that, you need to set the item you want to use as an active item first. The item that you select will be displayed in the active item frame at the top left of the screen, even when you're moving around. Select the active item you want to use by pressing left and right on the directional button. Press the square button to use it. Items which you can throw will be thrown as soon as you hit the square button. If you throw them once you're locked onto the enemy, you'll be fairly sure of a hit.
He's right, it's fairly certain. It doesn't always hit, like flying enemies, it's harder to hit unless you're closer. And you have to be a decent sized distance away. If you're too close, you'll throw it over them. If you're too far away, you won't throw it far enough or hit them. But there's that sweet spot, and you'll learn where it is for each enemy as you play through it.
There are loads of treasure chests scattered around the dungeons, so you're sure to come across a few. But be careful, because some of them are booby-trapped. If you guess the kind of trap and disarm it, you'll be able to open the chest without anything happening. But if you fail to spot a trap, it'll get ya. There are also some treasure chests that are locked. If you have the treasure chest key, that won't be a problem. But if you don't have the key and you force a chest open, you run the risk of setting off a booby trap.
And you'll see when I open treasure chests, I always pick explode. And the reason I pick explode is you've got the three. You got poison, explode, and weapon damage, basically. Poison poisons you, the chest stays there. It's the weapon thing, the chest stays there, but your weapons break. And then explode, if you don't pick explode and it's an explosion one, guess what happens? The treasure chest itself explodes, you lose the chest. If it's poison, you get poison, you clear the poison, you click on the chest again, and you open it and say it's poison. If it's a weapon break one, you do the same thing. You say it's a weapon break one, it opens the chest. If you pick explosion, and then there's no chest to try and pick explosion again. Alright, so next one.
Do you know what the red bit is above the monster's HP bar? It's called the rage counter, and each time you attack a monster, it decreases by 1. If you don't defeat the monster before it runs out, the monster will go into rage mode. If that happens, the monster will get a lot stronger, so you'd better not attack it half-heartedly with a weak weapon. In a fight, you could be attacked by things like poison, which will put you in abnormal status. When you go into abnormal status, using normal recovery items like bread won't work. The only thing that will work for poison is the antidote drink. When you're in a particular abnormal status, you'll need the right item to let you recover. When fighting a monster that uses abnormal status attacks, you'd better get yourself a status recovery item before you go in guns a-blazing.
We got only a couple more. Okay, about 9.
I know enough about weapons not to have to ask anyone about them, but it can't hurt to review. Changing equipment takes place within the item menu, which is reached by choosing item from the command menu. Grab the item you want to equip with the square button. Place it above a character and press the square button again to complete the equipment change. If you press the X button on top of a weapon, you can select the equip command, which will then equip that weapon. You can change equipment for 5 separate locations: right-hand weapon, left-hand weapon, shoes, body, and head.
Alright, here we go. Weapons, the best part of the game.
If you defeat an enemy with a weapon, then their magic power will tumble out of them in the form of tiny blue grains. If you pick these up, then the weapon which delivered the final blow will absorb the magic from them. The parameter which shows how much a weapon has absorbed is the Magic Absorb Status, or ABS. The blue bar at the side of the weapon's icon represents its current ABS. If the ABS bar fills up, then the weapon goes up a level and its stats improve. This is called weapon growth. Weapons also have a stat called WHP, which displays the weapon's durability. This is the orange bar at the side of a weapon's icon. If this falls to 0, then the weapon breaks, and its attacks will no longer affect enemies. You can return a broken weapon to normal by repairing it, using repair powder. However, if a weapon gets broken, then its ABS will decrease slightly. So, if possible, it's better to fix a weapon before it breaks completely. What's more, some weapons need items other than repair powder to fix them. For instance, guns need gun repair powder, and armbands need armband repair powder. So to fix the gun I got from Donnie, I don't need repair powder, but gun repair powder.
and it makes sense. As you get low and your weapon meter starts flashing, or rather blinking, you'll know that you can actually go out and bring up the menu and look at it and go, oh, that's the one that I need. Why? Because that's the one that is showing you, hey, I'm blinking too, this is the one that you need to use on your weapon.
An effective way to make a weapon stronger is to combine an item with it. If you move the cursor to a weapon on the item menu and press the X button, the weapon menu opens. Select status and information on the weapon is displayed. The synthesis points at the bottom of the status window display what kind of items this weapon can be combined with.
Sort of. It's not really what
As a weapon gains levels, its number of synthesis points increases. If you place the cursor over the item you want to combine next and press the X button, the commands for that item appear. Items which display the command Spectrumize can be combined with a weapon. Selecting Spectrumize breaks down the item and creates a synth sphere that contains the properties of that item. By taking the synth sphere, placing it over the weapon with which you wish to combine, and pressing the X button, you can add the powers within it to those of the weapon.
Soda.
When you find a new, stronger weapon, you can use Spectrumize on your old weapon and then add its abilities to the new one. This is the key to making even stronger weapons faster. However, when turned into a synth sphere, a weapon's stats decrease somewhat. So, without a weapon with high stats to combine it with, the weapon can start out weaker than before.
Yeah.
What's more, if you Spectrumize with a weapon that is less than +5, it will become an unstable synth sphere and will hardly alter any stats when combined. Better be careful of that.
When you synth a weapon onto another weapon, what ends up happening is all of your stats except for attack become 60%. I think the fractions are completely ignored. So, you really want to try and, if you're going to build a weapon up, what you really want to do is build it up to a point that's at least +5 so it doesn't become unstable. And each of your stats wants to be as close to a multiple of 5 as possible. And the reasoning behind that is 5, when taken 60%, gives 3. So if you have 50 fire, or 50 flame on your weapon, when you synth sphere it, when you Spectrumize it and it becomes a synth sphere, it'll give 30 flame. So for every 5 points on your old weapon, you're going to get 3 points back to attach to your new weapon. Now, I mentioned this doesn't work for attack. Attack does sort of a different calculation, and it's kind of a tricky calculation. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's based on what your attack stat of the old weapon was and the one that you're synthing it to. It changes it, so if I remember correctly, if your new weapon has a lower attack than the one that you Spectrumized, you get less out of it. Or rather the other way around. It's tricky, and I'll look it up for next time so that we can take a look at how that actually works. Let's go on to the parameters, and we'll go from there.
Weapons have various attributes. You can check them by pressing the X button over a weapon and then selecting Status. The weapon's stats are shown as 10 attributes. Once each attribute goes over a set level, it is possible to evolve the weapon to a stronger one. Each weapon has a maximum limit to each attribute, so making stronger weapons is tough if you don't use Build Up to advance to a new weapon. Also, in addition to the 10 attributes, weapons can sometimes have other special abilities. The finer points of this are still a little unclear, so let's go over it more closely.
I like how he just jumps to that. We're gonna... Okay. If you've played Dark Cloud 1, or you've played this one, and you haven't gone through this, you may be like, well, that's kind of a weird way of explaining it. Basically what happens is, when you reach a certain weapon, you have maximum and minimums. The minimums for a weapon are basically what you have to build to in order to... what you have to sphere your way up and build your parameters up in order to reach it before you can, you know, build up into the weapon. We'll get there in a second, sorry. The extra stats we're probably going to see as it goes through building up, but something that you'll find is certain weapons have certain... they're not really parameters, but they're like bonuses or disabilities, I guess you could say. And the reason that I say bonuses and disabilities is because, for example, there is one called Fragile. That's a disability because it makes your weapon HP go down faster. But then there's one that I wish I would have got on during my grinding, because I picked the wrong box from a Happy Clown present. One was just a couple of crystals. The other was a indestructible coin. Now, there are certain coins that we'll see throughout the game that will give you these certain extra attributes, like durable, which is the opposite of fragile, and I don't think there's one specifically for fragile. But they'll give you these heal, absorb, all sorts of other things, and we'll see those eventually. The most you can have of these bonuses, such as durable and heal or absorb, is 8. If I remember, yeah, it's 8 in this one. There are some that kind of flip-flop, like heal and absorb. We'll see how they go through it, and I don't really have a favorite between those two. I just kind of say whatever I put on. And we'll get to the point that by the 8th chapter, we'll have some really good ones. By the post-game chapter, we'll have a lot of good ones. We'll probably have them all capped out at that point. There's some really good ones that you want to look out for. Durable, of course, is one of them. You can actually buy that, I think, in chapter 2. In a second area, we'll show you that. I'll show you that as we get to it. But another good one, if you can find it, is what's called ABS Up. And I sort of pronounced it all as one syllable, so I pronounce it as abs. Abs Up is a good thing because it increases, I think it's 50% experience. So if you were to get 100% and you kill it with a weapon that has abs up, you would now get 150. So later on, it becomes really, really good to have that available. And what you'll see when you synth is that you can actually transfer these. So if you put, say, the battle wrench, if you put durable on it, and then you made it a true battle wrench, that specific wrench, not, you know, all battle wrenches and stuff like that, that specific battle wrench that had it on it would, when it became a true battle wrench, still have it on it. Now, I did say stuff about the opposites, like durable and fragile. If you have durable on, and the next weapon comes up with fragile, I believe the game removes the durable. I think there's some hiccup where a couple of times I've been like, ooh, I've got durable on my weapon, and then I was supposed to get fragile, but I didn't. That may just be that I had a weird disc. That'd be nice if it was always like that. If it is, and I'm just not to that point, someone can by all means tell me. But you can, even, if I remember correctly, you can actually synth these on to each other. So you can take a weapon that has steel, such as the steel gun, and synth it onto your wrench and give your wrench the ability to steal. So it's pretty cool. When you do build-ups, these aren't parameters that are required. If a weapon says that it has adds up on Max's weapon tree and you are trying to build to it, you don't have to go out of your way to get abs up. It will just put it on your weapon at that point. So it's good to have.
As you raise each weapon and certain conditions are met, it can advance to the next weapon rank. This is called weapon build-up. If you build
Upgrade.
a weapon up, not only does its appearance change, but the limit on its parameters also increases, making it possible to aim for even higher stats.
Yep, remember how you couldn't do it in the
If you
previous
select
version?
the build-up command, and then click on the question marks under next weapon, you can find out exactly which stats need to be improved in order to build up your weapon. Use this information to help you plan how best to raise up each weapon.
Okay, it's very simple. You know, you have to have a certain minimum amount to get to each weapon, and each weapon has a maximum amount. The starting weapons, I believe, like the battle wrench is 19, as is the true battle wrench. Attack always has a different value. Excuse me. I haven't yawned this morning yet. It's early in the morning, very early in the morning. The end level weapons that we're going to get to can have over 300 for a stat, very easily. And we're going to find out how scary it can be to go into Chapter 8 without completely upgraded weapons. But for now, we're going to kind of work our way through in a different way than I'd originally planned to. What I originally planned to do was just build through everything as we go. You know, but we're not going to be able to do that. What we're going to do different is do that whole Chapter 6 thing. So when I get the next weapon at the end of Chapter 2, at that point I'm going to have my current gun and that gun. I'm not going to go out of my way to get another one. I'm going to start working on the second gun. Just because they're going to be on two different paths. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick with that one just because the other one that I'm going to get is going to take me down a different path. And it's already started on that path in a manner of speaking. So all the other things, such as Monica's weapons and stuff like that, when we get to pick her up, we'll have one of everything. The only thing that I may do is for her brassards, because the only time that you can get somebody that'll join you in your party as a sort of background third character who helps increase your stats, like we'll be able to get Cedric. Remember Cedric? We'll be able to recruit him sort of like a third party member, but he doesn't actually fight. And he'll give you stat bonuses and stuff like that. Like when you level up a wrench with Cedric in the party, it'll increase. You'll get one more synth point than you normally would. And I believe you get one random stat added. So you could level up, get one more synth point than normal, and get a chill. An extra point in chill. But the only time that you can actually get somebody who does that for Monica's magic, her brassards, is a small period in Chapter 3. So when we get that, we're going to be heavily using Monica, which will sort of balance out with using Max so much in this first chapter. So a lot of stuff going into this, a lot of pre-planning. You don't have to have this much pre-planning, but it's always good to think ahead, especially in this game.
Hey, Borneo here. I'll be explaining how to move around. To go to a different area, select Move from the main menu. You can ride on the train to the area you choose. All you have to do is choose a place on the area map and leave the driving of the train to Cedric and me. If you use the Move command in the dungeons, you can check the dungeon info. If you then press the square button, you can get out of the dungeons whenever you like. But if you escape before completing a floor, you'll lose half your money.
Which I accidentally
did. It's up to you. If you want to get out of the dungeons, the best way to do it is wait until you've completed a floor, and then choose Leave Dungeons from the menu that appears. This way you won't be wasting your money. The conquest of a dungeon is not a thing to be rushed.
Just remember, you can actually leave a floor early. If you're not actually trying to complete the floor, like you've already completed it, then you can just leave the floor, but you have to go back to the dungeon entrance in order to do so. Basically, if I'm in the middle of the third floor and I defeat all the enemies, I won't lose my money. That rule about losing money, remember, only takes effect if there are still monsters left on the floor. If there are no monsters left and you've gotten the all monsters cleared message, or the all monsters defeated message rather, then you can leave the floor without any penalty, except for the fact that you can't choose where to go next. You have to go back to the channel. And you can do that, I'm sorry, you have to go back to the entrance, and you can do that if you want to. For me, I've done it a couple of times, like when I'm just trying to grind through a level, but you can't select what floor doing it that way. So the most important thing in a role-playing game is, or rather any game.
The road to adventure is long and perilous. When you want to take a break in your adventuring, be sure to record the progress you've made so far. Here and there along your travels, you'll find a mysterious glowing book. Approaching this book and pressing the X button will bring you to a screen where you can record your adventure's progress. The next time you play, you can pick up your adventure where you left off. Always remember to record your progress. Don't let any of your hard adventuring go to waste.
And let's go through our last one real quick. Well, does this one work the same way? Nope. This one works where it's just going to show it to us. This isn't a walkthrough version of it. So, this is simple enough. Everybody knows poison slowly drains health. Gooey takes forever to get away. It's basically a how slow can you possibly go. Then there's Curse, which means you're stuck with the weapon that you have. This happens in a lot of role-playing games where you're cursed, you can't unequip. It's telling you what items you have to use. Antidotes, hope, holy water. Stop, freezes you, you're basically frozen. You can't do anything. You can bring up the menu, I believe. Hopefully we won't have to deal with that one too much. Pumped up. Simple enough, it's just like a charged up shell. Attack power increases for set time. Petrification works just like stop, but it's like a more powerful stop. Thirst renders you unable to eat. In the first game, you had a thirst meter, which went down as you traveled through a dungeon, and when it got to the bottom, your health would start dropping very, very rapidly. Okay, here are these good special effects. As you can see, these top two, wealth and poverty, they say opposite of each other. You want wealth, you don't want poverty. So let's make a note of that. So we want wealth. And then there's poison, which poisons enemies. There's stop, which will freeze them. There's steal, which steals items, obviously. There's critical. Now, critical inflicts a higher amount of damage, and it's opposite of dark. which increases damage, but it drains your health, basically. From the bottom up, there's, abs up, which is a good one. Then there's the absorb and heal. I believe absorb is a lot better, although I think you can find heal a lot more readily. So basically, the 4 that we want, the 8 that we want. Sorry, I grouped them into 4 so I could count them correctly. We want absorb, durable, and abs up from this screen. And from this screen we want critical, steal, stop, poison, and wealth. So it's a nice amount of damage we'll be doing. This shows you the things that we want to get on, or that we're looking at. This is maxing Monica's defense. Very shortly we're going to get the ride pod, which has the max defense that a shield kit can boost a core to, and then there's a body defense. So as you upgrade the ride pod, you can increase the shield amount based on what the sort of like the core is. It's kind of like saying, I have a Game Boy to start with and I'm wanting to build it up into a Nintendo 3DS. So you have the Game Boy, then you got the Color, then you got the Advance, then you got the DS, then you have the 3DS, and each one has different capabilities and more increased capabilities. And that's basically what you're going to do. Okay, so for the monsters, we'll get to this when we unlock Monica and her ability to transform into monsters. Monsters level up differently than, say, your weapons do, or that the ride pod does. They level up just like normal leveling up. When your weapons would go from level 1, from just like Battle Wrench to Battle Wrench +1, say this is your rat, you'll be a rat level 1, your abs bar will fill up, and then boom, you're level 2. Your attack levels will go up, and as you can sort of see here, you got different moves and attacks that you can use. Eventually you will be able to go on different upgrade paths where it's kind of like Pokemon in that there's evolution involved. You kind of evolve from one type of rat to another, or from one type of whatever to another. For the monster notes, which we'll pick up eventually, this is very simple. Your weaknesses are your different elements. Flame, lightning, cyclone, and chill. Or smash and stuff like that. These are what weapon types are effective against it. You got Max's wrench. His wrenches and hammers, all of them fit in together. Monica's swords, all of her swords, regardless of what type of sword, fit in together. Although they do have different ending sets of animations. Some are 4. There's 4 hit combos, slow 5 hit, fast 5 hit, and 6 hit combos. Magic and the ride pod, those are self-explanatory. And then there are 3 different types of guns. And I believe my current one that I have is it's a grenade, because it's a sort of homing missile. Normal gun just fires like normal bullets. Grenade one kind of fires homing missiles and such like that. And a beam is a laser gun. So let me go ahead and show you that. It's a grenade launcher. It's very, very well built up. I've got quite a bit of ways to go before we can get it to the next one. So we're gonna kind of stick with that. Here with the drill wrench, we can build this up. But I want to get it to +5, remember? So we're gonna go ahead and work on that. So while we're going, let's go ahead and move on to the next section, which everyone is going to enjoy now that we've got through that. We're going to go around town and shoot some pictures. But first, we have to go to the mini-boss. It never says mini-boss, but it's a mini-boss. It's just like a mini-boss.
What's all this?
Donnie! Donnie, help! Help me, Donnie!
Donnie, I've come into a big chamber. There are what look like tanks everywhere.
That'll be the pump room. The pumps in there are used to draw water from the lake on the outside. You're not far from the outside now.
I'm halfway through the dungeon.
Gotcha. Thanks, Donnie. We gotta keep going.
Ladies and gentlemen, the mini-boss. Okay, don't try to kill it. You can't hurt it.
Flotsam!
And how are we today, Max? I'm quite proud of you for coming all this way through the sewers, you know. By the way, Max, I took the liberty of doing a little research on you. For someone like you, living in a big house with no wants or needs, don't you think it would be a waste if you threw your life away fighting us? And how sad indeed would your dear sweet mother be?
What? What do you know about my mother?
What if I did know something? If you want to know more, give me that red stone. I've got plenty to tell you.
Maybe.
Well, no way. I'll find my mother myself. I don't need help from anyone like you.
Ah, you stinking brat! You will regret this, I guarantee. Take care of them, my darling Linda.
Okay. So get ready for the most boring boss battle. I'm running circles. I'm running in circles. La 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 la. La 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 la. There. You got to see my new grenade launcher. And you just keep running around. And running around. Finally!
It's no good. I'll never win like this.
Now then, Max, what will it be?
Ah! Uh-oh. Huh?
What?
Max, you all right? It's me.
Your father! Wait,
Cedric!
it's not his father.
You the right pod.
Yep, I named it Steve. I'm still working out the bugs, but it's got plenty of punch. Well, did you learn your lesson or what?
That's amazing, Cedric.
My sweet Linda couldn't compete with this one.
Oh, we got an ornery son of a gun here. Come back for more, huh? Take that. Huh? What the?
Well, what's wrong?
Actually, I didn't finish that energy backpack yet. I don't think she can handle any more fighting for now. Hop in, Max.
Get on, but it can't move.
Don't you worry about that. There's enough juice to get us back. Come on, get in.
And even more, dude, you stop swinging your arm around.
Running away, eh? Linda, get back!
Adios!
Oh my, they've run off! My poor sports!
We'll be back. Welcome to the morning. It's been a while since we've been outside.
Morning, Sonny. Sleep well?
Yeah. Tell me, Cedric.
I've been in the
why do you
cave
think
all
those
night.
circus goons are after this pendant of mine?
Who knows, kid? But if what you overheard in that room at the circus is true, then Mayor Need definitely knows something. I'll talk to Need and see if I can get anything out of him. Just don't let that pendant fall into their hands, no matter what.
It's weird that these are some of the
I know.
few ones
I won't give this
that
up.
aren't sort of centered.
Alrighty then. This thing here is the problem. We gotta finish this up and take care of that pesky elephant.
All you need is an energy pack, right?
Yep.
Well, Cedric, how about letting me handle that?
You telling me that you want to make the energy pack for Steve?
No, I want you to give me money so I can go buy a hot chocolate.
Yeah, I want to give it a try.
Alrighty then. The job's yours.
All right.
You know, inventing stuff is pretty tough work. I'll show you how, Sonny, so you listen.
Okay.
Inventing something involves taking several ideas and combining them together to create something new. And ideas are, well, the building blocks for inventions. By combining the ideas inside your head, you can invent brand new stuff. Now here's some hints on making an energy pack for Steve. A milk can, pipes, and a belt. Now this is where things get tricky, see? Next, you gotta do some collecting. Here, first, press the square button to ready the camera. Then you can capture whatever you see in the viewfinder. Use the left analog stick to control the direction. And to take a picture, just press the square button again. Pretty simple, huh?
Very simple. Yep.
Now you better go take some pictures. You need to look for a milk can, pipes, and a belt. You should be able to find them all within a couple 100 feet of here. You ready? Go.
We're gonna
get 'em.
find a crap ton of pictures now. Alright. So let's go pick up some of these. So let's start up here. And while we're in this mode where we're not actually in a dungeon mode. Oh, it's. I have to. Yeah. There's the camera. I gotta take some pictures. Alright. It just has to be equipped, then you can hit square. Alright. So let's start here. Well, that's binoculars. And register. Alright. Then we have an old style robot. A weight gauge. This trumpet thing here is a wrapper. And it's sitting on a barrel. Okay. That's not it. Where is it? Is that it? There's the fan. And a tiny hammer. Okay. And there's a wooden box. Okay, now I gotta make certain. That's the vacuum bag. And the auto book reader. Okay, so we got everything that we can get up here. We're getting a nice collection. So we come down here and we turn to the left. We get a staircase. Let's see if we can find it. That's not it. that is right here. And right here on the table is the clock, the vacuum. I think it's this big machine up. Is it? I gotta find it. That's not it. That's not it. That's just Steve's butt. There it is. This pipe thing, I think it's the thing behind it, actually. Let me go check. Nope. It's actually this pipe. Okay. I've got 2 more things I'm going to need to get in here, but as you can see, I'm 30 pictures out of 30. So what we want to do is we want to confirm the picture by hitting triangle and hit move idea from photo to the book. This will move all the ideas. If you take a picture and then you hit not to move them, they clear out. Now what I did was after I moved them, it says, do you want to delete all the pictures that we used? You can, from now on I'm probably going to hit no, so that I can hit here and hit delete all photos, just to completely clear it out. Okay. Come over here, excuse me. This is a cart. And down here we got a table. So let me go ahead and clear this out in preparation for the next building. Okay. Now, the reason it said, hey, you can only do this for certain things inside dungeons is because you can actually get scoops basically from different monsters. Depending on what monsters do, you'll be able to, like, Linda will get one from Linda. And I'll show you how to get that one, or I'll tell you how to get it. But our next stop is right here in Polly's Bakery. What we're doing here is just getting everything that we can get at the moment. So there's bread. Where is... There's the flour. We've already got a register, but there's another one. There's the oven. And there's the can. So we're done in Polly's Bakery. We're going to move on to Morton's Item Shop. Now, as you see, I'm showing you where everything in each building is. Because there are multiple trees, multiple shrubberies and stuff like that. Alright. So here's a book. We have the register. We have Morton acting like an idiot. I want to do these in the order that it's showing it to me. There's the phonograph. Milk can. Copyright infringement. The chandelier. This over here is a vending machine. There's wheat flour. There's the painting. There's the refrigerator, and I don't think we can get it from here. But basically, you might have to do this. You have to come up here and actually aim it at this watermelon to get vegetables fruit. So that's everything we got in here. Very quick, very simple. We're just cutting these down. Three locations done. Alright, the next one's this police station. Let's head on over here. And there's only 5 in here. And those 5 are... Okay. First we have shrubbery, a bench, a window. Let's see if I can't find it. The post, you know, these things. Oh, like a wanted sign. Sort of looks like flotsam, kind of, not really. It's a horrible drawing. I'll go take a picture of you. You're just kind of sitting there. And of course, there's the clock. So that's all of them so far in that area. Alright. Let's bring them all in. Okay, if you notice over here on the right, it says that we've taken a total of 59 pictures. That's just a complete cumulative total of every shot that you've ever taken. There are ideas and scoops. Scoops are the things that you get when you're fighting enemies, or certain specific things that you can miss. There are certain big ideas, basically. And ideas are just the normal stuff. If I remember correctly, an idea is worth 2 points, and a scoop is worth 3, I believe. And for every 100 points, your photography goes up a level. I believe there's a total of like 750 some, so you can get up to a good high amount. But for every level that we go up, Donnie will actually give us a new item. Now, whether there's something you can equip or not, well, we just have to see as we go up in level. Now we can actually get to level 2, which Donnie will then give us a new item, but we need to go and get up, obviously, to 100 points or more. So we're working our way up there. Alright, now comes the fun one. Alright, so now we're in the weapons shop. There's the show window. Behind Mullane, if you can shoot it right, it's a gold store. These things are lamps. Where's that shield? It's over on the wall somewhere. There it is, that's the shield. You saw me already get the show window. That's also a shield, apparently. It says light, but I don't know how. That's right, I'm too close. Okay, let me move over here and aim this up. That should be the light. There is... I'm just gonna click on you because I can. That's also a gold store. This item here, although you can't tell what it is actually supposed to be an Iron Maiden. And that's weapon. Any of these will do. There's one more down here, even though we've already got it. But that's the wooden box. Alright. Our next stop is going to be at the bar. I know. This sounds so wonderful for a game. So, the bar is back towards the police station. And it is down over here, which is actually by the train station. What? There's a train in this game? I know. Notice I'm not getting anything on the outside yet, because that's a different thing that we'll go through, a different list. So, we got the table, obviously lamps, chair, the piano's over here, whoops. Well, that's the wrapper. These things, these yellow things, you can't see them too well. I'm gonna try and get a better shot. Yeah, now you can sort of see them. These, basically like the bells of trombones and stuff, those ones. So then we got the piano. That's a light. What's up? Alright, the barrel is up there. This whole thing is a car. The ladder. Where is the ladder? Spinning around like an idiot. That's the ladder. It's above the car. Those are bottles. Okay, that's a wheel. And then we have painting. Alright, so let's go and clear out. See, we're almost up to 100 already. Alright, next stop is the train station. Which is right here to the left of the bar. Or when you come out of it, at least. Alright. So let's just go through it. Wow, we started way inside. There's your shrubbery. These things are called a flower chair. Alright. That's a sign. So when we come down here, we're going to go over to this one first and take a picture of the freight train. Where's the clock? Oh, jeez. I'm at a weird angle. You can get that at a better angle, you know. So there's that. Of course, we got the staircase. That's a trash can. As you can see, it said we hit the next level. Where is all of this crap? It's probably up here. So, there's the pot. These should be milk cans. Wooden boxes. Unless those are considered... No. There we go. There's the barrel. That's a cup. I'm reading them even though you don't need to. That's a bottle. There's bread. We already got the trash can. Let's go down. We've got a couple. We got 3 more in here. So any of these will work as benches. This train right here is the Blackstone one. Now to get the final one, we gotta kind of go at a weird angle here. Go over, aim down, there's the railroad. Alright. Alright, so we are finally down to the final set at this point. And this is just out on the streets. So the first thing that I see for each one, I'm going to basically shoot at. And then we'll go from there. The things that you want to be careful about are the sun. There are 3 versions of the sun. But for right now, the one that I want to get, because it's the middle of the night, is I'm too close to crap. Alright, let's go through this. There's shrubbery. The bar sign is this thing. I'm currently too far away. There's the bar sign. You know, by this point we've seen enough barrels. Well, you've seen enough barrels. You can get barrels here. You can get lamps, signs, clocks. The sunshades are these. We've already got windows, trash cans. Here's the fountain. Okay, parasols are over here. What's that turn too quick? Those are parasols. Cafe sign. Right over here, if I can get it. Chimney. We've already got a post. Up here we gotta get street lights. And what the street lights are just these. We've already got wooden box. You have to come out here to get the moon and the sun relatively easy. If I can figure out where the stinking moon is. Okay, we're coming up to morning. which is okay, because that will give me time to run around and collect the last few. So, there are 3 suns. There's morning, and then there's just the regular sun, and then there's the evening. So, let me move back a bit farther. You can see I'm just... Well, there's Cedric's shop sign. I didn't mean to catch that. We'll go over it again in a second. So, come on. Let's get the sun. Sun. That's flag. I'm having a hard time on mine trying to see it. No! Oh, there it is. Oh, for the... Jeez! Enough flags? So there it is. Come on. There's morning sun. We'll eventually get to the point where we can get that normal one and the evening sun. Alright, so until then, let's go for... That's a post, but those are pipes. We already got Cedric's sign. It's right here. We got about 50,000 flags, apparently. So now what we also want to do is get Polly's sign. There's a pumpkin right here. And we want to get the weapon shop sign. And the weapon shop sign, these are kind of in a weird order. That's the weapon shop sign. That's a mailbox. Come over here, and down. There's the river. That's the sign for the sundry sign. Come over here, and we want to sort of... Oh, it's a wrong angle. There's a tree. It's a weird angle. Table, bench. Okay, we're almost done. There's the drawbridge. Traffic light. That's a manhole. We're gonna come out here. Let's see where the sun's at. There's the sun about middle of the day. Come over to here, and there's another way to get a cart. There's the police sign. Alright, time to be a little questionable. Hold still. There's belt. Sorry, I just took a picture of that area. Alright. So now I'm gonna come somewhat over here and try to get the last 2. The last 2 we kind of have to wait on for a minute. And that is Evening Sun. Let me make certain. Evening Sun and the Moon. So we gotta kind of wait for a bit for the... Where is this thing? We'll just watch the sun as it goes through. It takes forever. Oh, bother. But these ones do... They're gonna help. We're gonna see a lot of options. And we're gonna do some inventing real quick. And we're gonna do some inventing. And then we're gonna get some of... We're gonna get whatever that item is. I don't wanna give it away yet. I know, this is such a long, drawn-out episode. Yeah. Just to let you know, we will be able to get over this drawbridge, and we'll have to come back for some more, I'm just clicking stuff by accident. We'll come back for some more photo ideas. Do some more inventing and stuff, but we have to get into chapter 2 before we can. But there are a total of 4 scoops that we can get before we leave chapter 1. 2 are in boss battles, which means that they're extremely missable. The other 2, however, are not, but they were going to require very good timing on my part. So we'll see if I can get them. I don't think we're to, yeah, we're not to evening sun yet. Everything around should change. It's sort of toned to like a darker red. We're getting there. Still not there yet. Gonna run around in circles because I'm bored. Aren't you? It's still the sun. Okay, that was sort of a change. The clouds went to a yellowish, if you can sort of see that. At least over by the sun they did. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. Alright, so we got that. We're just waiting on the last one, which is evening. Or, well, not the evening, is the moon. Once we get that, we will be done and be able to make some stuff. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and go back and pull up the invention guide that we can use. Yes, I am trying not to miss any of these. Alright, so the first thing we're going to get is a diamond. We'll be able to synth that. There are jewels throughout the game that you can get, diamonds, rubies, stuff like that. And when you spectrumize them, they give a lot of stats for 1 synth point. But you want to make certain that you're not just burning it out for no reason. Go down, you stupid son. Almost there. I am using the photo ideas guide and the photography guide on game FAQs. The photo guide, the photo ideas FAQ is written by Kursal, and it's very good. It has it broken down by where you can get them and by chapter, which is what I use to go through and show you where all of them can be shot from. The photographer and invention guide was written by duo Dark Rider and Angel Knight. And I'm just gonna show you what they are so that you can get them done, get them built and everything. And I'm just gonna go down the list and we're gonna look at some of these footwear that we can start with. but I kind of... There's the moon. Well, sort of. If you've played Dark Cloud 1, this image looks very familiar. I wonder why it's the exact same pair of moon. I say moon, like, really more like moon. Alright, so what we do here is, well, let me get those pictures into my idea book. If they're not in the idea book, it doesn't count them. Got a score of 160, that's very nice. Alright, so, no, I gotta get out, you can't do it from that menu, you have to do it from this one. Alright, so let's go over buildings and stuff. I think there are 8 things that we can build at the moment, or that we can invent at the moment. So the first one is, we're going to go up here, and I'll show you this, you just go in here, and we're going to start with belt. These are all alphabetical. We're going to pick the shield, and then we're going to pick the moon. So you basically click on 3, and then when you're done, you hit the square button, and click yes.
Yeah, it works!
Very good, very good. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to build, since we don't have any of the extra things, so we don't have one that we can get right now, which is cloth. But the next thing that we can build is fountain, window, and wooden box. And we get an aquarium.
Say cheese!
No. I'm kidding. Alright. Now, we can't build that one yet. But we can build this one, which is... no, wait, we can't build that one yet either. Holy crap. These are technically correct because they are chapter 1, but they're not as easy to activate. So I'm not worried about it. That's just going down the list, knowing what ones I can and cannot do. Okay, we can do that one at the end of the chapter, but not yet. Alright. Alright, here's the next one. So we're gonna go with the manhole, the old style robot, and the post, which will give us the Ride Pod's current equipped weapon.
Say cheese!
Now, we can't actually build the next one yet, I don't think. Yep, no, because we can't take a picture of a rock yet. So the next one we can get is cart. I'm scrolling down by L1, and R1 goes down a page and L1 goes up a page. So cart, and what is it? Wheel. And this gives us really slow legs for Steve. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to get and make, because we've already made, don't worry about the number, it's always one less, because the first one's always the free invent. So we've got 4 out of the 8. Alright, here's the energy pack that we were talking about. Belt. Milk can. And pipe. So that's good.
Say cheese!
But we can do one better, although we do have to start with that. We need barrel, belt, and tree. So this gives this is an improved energy pack,
Say cheese.
but we're gonna have to actually level up Steve's core, basically to get that next level to the Game Boy Color, I guess, in order to be able to equip it. So we're gonna do that in the next, not this episode, but at the start of the next one. Okay, iron leg we can't get yet because we're missing a fence or a saw. Next, chapter 1. Are we done with all of these? Going through all the ones for Steve right now. I believe we are. Alright. So the next thing we can build is actually a brassard. So we're going to do clock, gold store, and the show window.
Say cheese.
Okay. Next thing is, if there's anything left, can't remember how many we've done. Okay, there's one more hidden somewhere. Where is it? That's not it. That is. So we can do fountain, wrapper, and tree to get the trumpet gun. And that is actually it.
Yeah, it worked.
Alright. So what we want to do at this point, and I'm going to finish the mini boss and then we'll go on with the game. So you walk in here, it's been invented. You have to invent it. But then you come back in here and then you talk to Cedric. I think this part's optional, but it does help if you're blowing through.
Well, hot diggity. I do believe you did it, Max. That's my boy.
So now he's going to say,
Next,
you
I'll
have your
tell you how to take
invention,
the finished invention
you gotta get
card
materials,
and make the
then you can
real
build
thing.
it.
In order to make it, you're going to need some materials.
Yep.
The materials you'll need to make the energy pack are 20 scraps of metal, 1 thick hide, and 2 hunks of copper. Now off, you can get all the materials you need at the... Here, take this.
It gives you some money. Thank you, Cedric. But let's see what we need. So once you make it up here, then you can come down here and click on it. And see, I've just done so much grinding that I already have enough to make it. And I actually have enough to make the energy barrel. And it's just going to trigger it again because I've already inside with it.
I've done it, Cedric.
I just got 400 free
I knew
gilded.
you had it in.
Alright. Whew. I don't blame you, Max.
So, you think you understand the invention process now?
Yes.
From now on, you gotta use your own noggin, find your own building block. There's still lots of building blocks hidden in this town. And I'm sure you'll find lots of new stuff. Keep your eyes open.
I will.
That's the spirit.
This is... I'm getting through that because now we're going to...
Okay. Now... Max, when you think you're ready.
So now he's going to give us the ability, if we are... Whenever we feel we're ready, to go ahead and go back and fight the elephant. But what I want to do first... It's not there. It's over here. Click on this manhole. This is how you actually get down into the dungeon from Palm Brinks. And it'll bring you down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to Donnie and say, dig for a scoop. And it's going to trigger this screen to pop up. And it says 0, but you actually get it for free, so it doesn't cost anything. And this is not ready to do anything with that. Neither is that. So we'll get to using that in the next episode. I'll get some levels on my drill wrench. and we'll go from there for that one. So let's go fight Linda. And guess what we need to do? We're going to be taking a picture of Linda so you can see how the scoop works. Now Linda's going to rear back, and when she rears back on her hind legs, her back legs, to do a stomp, that's when you want to capture her in a picture. That's when you want to take that picture.
You all set?
Okay, or hold on a second. You can hit a, hold on a second.
Okay,
And be like, well, what are you doing?
All right.
What have we been
Time
doing
to
all this
saddle up
time?
and head-
Alright, here we go.
This door leads to the underground waterway. You'll be heading out on your own, son. I'm gonna see if I can't get something out of need.
Loud and clear.
Keep your guard up.
Leave it to me.
Steve is an ultimate powerhouse by the end of the game. And I'm going to try and avoid using Steve. Alright, so we're going to have this battle again. And I'm immediately going to shut Steve off. Because Steve is the only way to defeat it, but I can't use the camera with Steve.
Huh?
There we go.
Right there.
I bet you were thrilled when you thought you were alone here. Too bad. Tear them to pieces, my little Linda.
Nope. Crap, I didn't get it. I forgot it happens like right at the beginning. But she will do it again. This is like some of the most epic boss music ever. Yeah, no effect. Come on, rear up. I gotta be able to do this fast enough, and I need her to actually try and attack me. Like that. Alright. That was the one that's called Brave Little Linda. You want to get on the side. Wow, I'm actually doing this without getting hit. Nice. Very, very nice. In the top left and the top right are Steve's meters. We'll go over that in the next episode.
The outside world. Right then, my heart was filled with expectation, wondering what kind of places I would find. I had no idea that the incredible adventure I was about to begin was beyond anything that I could have imagined.
I had no idea that the incredible adventure I was about to begin was an incredible adventure. I guess we can... This is just saying you can build up XP and stuff like that. And there's a crap ton of different configurations for it. Alright, this is Steve's sort of health meter. As see, he's just running, it goes down. Over on the top right, I mean, you can switch out of it. That's what I was meaning to show. When you switch out of it, it stops going down. This is his weapon. His weapon goes down just like wrenches, but it doesn't have an XP meter. In order to repair it, you use a regular repair powder. Right here is his XP. That actually shows a value as you go through it. You'll see it here. This is capacity, which is how you build it. As you upgrade your core, it'll go up. Core and body defense. Currently, Steve only has 6 defense. 6 here, 0 out of 12 there. With this current core, the maximum we can get is 18 from the 6 that's with the body. And then 2 shield kit upgrades. I think they both go 12. Or that they both go 6. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and exit the area to the next location, which will trigger a final cutscene, and then we will end it for today. And now we'll work on some grinding with Steve, so that we can just do 1 level with Steve, so I can show you how that works, and then we can upgrade his core and go on with it. He just barges in the middle of the night. Cedric!
Cedric!
I'm so whiny.
All right, Mead. What exactly are you hiding from me? Tell me everything you know.
I see. So you realize too, have you? Damn. But sometimes it's better not to know.
Why are you hiding things from me? I thought we were friends, Mead. What's going on? Spit it out, will you?
Well, let him have a chance to say something.
Okay. I can't go on hiding it anymore. I'll tell you everything. I'll tell you what's going on here in this town, in this world.
Now, Need doesn't know everything, but he knows enough about what's going on in Palm Springs. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and save it and call it an episode. Come on. Come on. Well, that has been this episode. I know it's been a lot of extra junk, but we did get the photography and a lot of the help menus out of the way. We'll go back and we'll do some more help menus in another episode once we unlock them all. I just wanted to get this initial batch out of the way. So I will see you next time when we will do some work with Steve and finish out the dungeon. So, see you later.